Every November, families gather around the table, carve the turkey, and give thanks. But how much of the Thanksgiving story you learned is actually true? Was it really a peaceful feast between Pilgrims and Native Americans? Or has centuries of storytelling turned a complicated history into a simple legend? Tonight, we uncover the real origins of Thanksgiving, a story of desperation, friendship, betrayal, and survival. It all began in 1620. A group of English settlers, not called Pilgrims yet, boarded a ship called the Mayflower. They weren't seeking holiday traditions. They were fleeing religious persecution. After 66 brutal days at sea, they arrived not at their intended destination in Virginia, but far north in the icy winds of Massachusetts. Half of them wouldn't survive that first winter. The settlers found themselves on land once home to a great nation, the Wampanoag people, who had lived there for thousands of years. But years before the Mayflower landed, European diseases had already ravaged coastal tribes, wiping out nearly 90% of the local population. To the survivors, these new arrivals were both a mystery and a potential threat. Then came an encounter that would change the course of history. A Wampanoag man named Tisquantum, whom history calls Squanto, stepped into the settlers' camp speaking English. He had once been captured by English traders, sold into slavery, and miraculously made his way back home, only to find his village destroyed by disease. Now, he chose to help these lost newcomers. He taught them how to plant corn, find fish, and survive in this unfamiliar land. Under Chief Massasoit, the Wampanoag formed a fragile peace with the English settlers. It was an alliance built not on pure friendship, but on mutual need, a chance for survival in a world that was changing forever. By the autumn of 1621, Plymouth had endured a full year. Thanks to the help of the Wampanoag, they had their first successful harvest. Governor William Bradford declared a feast, not a holiday, to celebrate survival. 90 Wampanoag men arrived unexpectedly, likely after hearing the settlers' gunfire from their celebration. Instead of conflict, they brought deer, wildfowl, and corn to share. For 3 days, both peoples feasted together. No one called it Thanksgiving. No one wrote about pumpkin pie or cranberry sauce. It was simply a moment of peace, a brief pause in a century that would soon turn toward conflict and conquest. That peace wouldn't last. As more ships arrived from England, land hunger grew. Misunderstandings turned to mistrust, and mistrust to violence. Within a single generation, the alliance shattered. Wars broke out across New England, most brutally in King Philip's War of 1675, led by Massasoit's son, Metacom. For Native nations, it was one of the bloodiest conflicts in American history, and the feast that once symbolized harmony became a bittersweet memory, a reminder of what was lost. It would take 2 centuries before Thanksgiving became a national holiday. In 1863, during the dark days of the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln proclaimed a national day of thanksgiving and praise, not for Pilgrims and Wampanoag, but to unite a divided country through gratitude and remembrance. From then on, the story was softened, turned into a simple tale of friendship and feasting, a myth easy to teach and easier to celebrate. So, what is Thanksgiving really about? Maybe it's not just about pilgrims or parades, but about recognizing the complicated truth behind our traditions. It's a day to remember the alliances, the losses, and the courage that shaped this land. To be grateful, not for perfection, but for the lessons of history that remind us how fragile peace can be. So when you sit down this year, before the first bite of turkey, take a moment to give thanks, not for a myth, but for the people who endured, the friendships that flickered, and the hope that still connects us all.